Every year, PowerStop makes the journey from their headquarters in Chicago to the world-renowned SEMA show in Las Vegas. These rigs are equipped with some of the leading aftermarket manufactured auto parts and are put to a real-world test on the 5,000-mile journey across America. In a world full of boundaries, dead ends, and U-turns, where other vehicles see the end of the road, we see the start of the adventure. So join us where the pavement ends, on the trail to SEMA. The PowerStop Trail is presented by J.C. Whitney, the official part source, and Lucas Oil, the official oil supplier of the trail, in association with HP Tuners, Connect, Read, Edit, Write, Drive, and Maxxis Tire, delivering high-performance tires to the world. Contributing sponsors include Bestop, Icon Vehicle Dynamics, Optima Batteries, RCV Performance, Rugged Radio, and Vision Wheel.
Moab, Utah, America's off-road playground. Sitting on 1.8 million acres of unique and amazing landscape, Moab has been hailed as the Jeep Mecca, where outdoor enthusiasts flock every year to explore its vast trail systems. Our convoy sets its sights on Pritchett Canyon, 18.8 miles of the most extreme off-road terrain Moab has to offer, surrounded on all sides by towering canyon walls. And once you're in, the trail is the only way out. Known as the most difficult trail in all of Moab, Pritchett Canyon will test the group and showcase why this place is the center of the Jeep world.
So it's morning of day 2, and we're here in Moab. We had a good dinner last night at Moab Brewery, kind of a traditional thing. Today's trail is Pritchett Canyon, and ay caramba, it's the hardest trail here in Moab, inside Moab, and to say I'm fine and like, woo, I'm looking forward to it is a lie because I'm scared. I'm a little anxious and nervous, but I am excited. I mean, I'm here, I got dressed up to dance, like I said yesterday, let's go dance.
This is my first time ever in Moab, and I'm pumped. Like, I can't wait to hit these trails. I'm not used to a lot of traction and a lot of grip, so I'm gonna try to keep my skinny pedal, my throttle under control, and see what happens. It's really neat when you come into something like Trail to SEMA because you've got so many different people of skill levels and things like that. You're going from somebody that wheels all the time, like Ian that knows his Jeep, been wheeling for 7 years, and people that this is their first time wheeling. It's awesome to see everybody, you know, kind of bond together and help each other out. We actually rescued this one from insurance auction. It was a flood vehicle in a hurricane in Miami. So I went down, picked it up, brought it back, wheeled the crap out of it stock, saw what its limitations were, and then started a build. It's got a Rubicon Dana 44 swapped into the front. Now it has 37-inch tires and RCV axles because we wanted the strongest front axle we could possibly build. ARB in the front, Yukon air locker in the rear, so that was the biggest things for us, and then a whole lot of armor to try to protect this Jeep when we're going through these trails and through these rocks. We had some brake issues, which luckily hit up Chris for some brakes, some PowerStop brakes before we made this trip, so we went ahead and swapped those on and did some new brake lines and haven't had a single brake issue this whole trip. So other than this thing being kind of long for the very steep stair-step climbs, it's done extremely well and actually really surprised me. Happy that we took the time, built a good vehicle, it's strong, and can come out here and enjoy this landscape and enjoy trail riding with everybody.
There we go.
There's a lot of really capable vehicles here, a lot of drivers that just don't have experience, but we have a lot of drivers with experience that can help them out. For Tiffany specifically, this is her first time in Moab, so it would be an achievement.
Ian says that if I complete Moab and I do all this, I'll get my other of my half-rated trail sticker on here.
Well, once it's through Pritchett Canyon, you get the whole thing.
That's the game plan today. Get fully trail rated today by Ian's standard, complete some things on the 35s, and just have fun. So I've kind of been into motorsports, the automotive world for, about almost 10 years now, thinking about it. A year ago, I was like, you know what? I like Jeeps. I want to build a Jeep. I want to do something. I have these goals. Let's build a Jeep. So I talked to Vision Wheel about it. They're like, Tiffany, let's do all this. So I upfitted my 2018 JL, it's a Rubicon, We put a 2-inch sport lift from Rancho on there. We put a Dynamax exhaust. I also put a 17-inch vision wheel on there. I love competition, I love adrenaline, and I love proving people wrong, because when you're a female in motorsports or automotive, you need to work twice as hard. I want to be like, you know what? Tiffany T. Stone, she's a great driver. She has that finesse. She can crawl down these. She can crawl up these. Here we are a year later. I'm doing Trail to SEMA with the biggest smile on my face. I still need a name, so maybe after this, I don't know. We're gonna name her something soon though.
Oh, you gotta be faster than that! Oh, you gotta be faster than that!
The bet that's going on is our friend Ian over here doesn't think that this here scorpion crawler can make it through the day without breaking. So he's going to dangle $100 out of the back of his rig, and we're going to prove to him that this can stand the test of durability against these really sticky tires on a really hard obstacle course, I guess. Real damn sorry.
You're not gonna have it by the end of the day. If you get it, you get the crown and the bill.
I'll be king of Pritchett Canyon.
King of Pritchett Canyon.
With our tires aired down and ready to hit the rocks, the convoy heads towards the entrance of the Moab trail system and the beginning of Pritchett Canyon.
This trail's like right around 5 miles of hardcore trail. It's not the hardest stuff you can find. It's just very remote, and it's a long, long, long drive. So it'll be a good test for everybody today. Most people here have never wheeled Pritchett before, so we're gonna have a pile of fun, and let's see if Matt can make it through to the end without breaking. Pritchett Canyon, benchmark trail. Once you've done this trail, you're officially a hardcore off-road jeeper in Moab. That's how it works. There's no, at what we were on yesterday, there was a lot of loose gravel and some rocks with a little bit of traction. Everything that we accomplished today should give you more traction than you've ever seen before in your life. So there should be never a reason, except for Matt from Bleepin' Jeep, to hit the rev limiter. The hardest obstacles are near the end, but the first one is sort of like a gatekeeper, which you should be able to get through no problem. Every JK should be able to get through here, no issues whatsoever, by just crawling everything in 4-low. If you listen to your spotter, pay attention to what you're doing, and don't get crazy. So it's just a fun day. It's gonna be a long day, so just be wary of that as well. So we're gonna be out there for probably 10 to 12 hours today. So when you first start four-wheeling, down is always the scariest shit. Yeah. But don't worry about it, because it'll always go down.
Okay.
All right? So the rule is simple. 4-low.
Okay.
No lockers.
No lockers are on, and sway bars disconnected.
Okay, you're fine. When it starts to drop, your instinct is going to be to mash the brake, because it's going to scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Okay.
Just let it crawl down the hill.
A little bit, it's going to start to go. Don't freak out. It's going to fall off this big hill.
I get a quarter.
Because you went down, you'll get the other half when you go up something. There we go.
A year ago I said I wanted to do something like this and I did it. Okay. Okay. I'm only one way through.
All right, back up and straighten out. There you go. Let's try that.
Both lockers?
Front and rear?
Both lockers, yeah. What's going to happen here?
Front and rear, locked.
The passenger will go first right here.
Okay.
Like just a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, just dead straight. One nice smooth motion.
Too much throttle. Yes? Yes!
Graduated.
Oh, Ian says I'm allowed to take off my sticker. And now I'm trail rated.
This is Chewy Hill. This is technically the first real obstacle on Pritchett Canyon because no bypass. So the plan is basically up the center and then you have to huck a hard right. It feels really goofy and off camber at the top because when you're making that turn, the Jeep wants to lean way over to the right, and you're leaning to the right and your left tire is gonna climb on the way out. So it can feel a little sketchy, but there's winch anchors, and the smart decision here is to use them. I don't think there's anything wrong with winching on this obstacle because, to be honest with you, we're almost like 2 hours from town this way and 4 hours from town that way, so there's nothing wrong with winching here.
I was the third person to attempt it. Everybody before me had 40-inch tires. I had 37s, but I had a little bit of a wheelbase advantage, and I also kind of staggered where my tires hit the ledge. And I'm from the East Coast. We're used to hitting things with speed and not trying to crawl stuff, and it just worked out and went out the top.
One try rule.
One try rule. 1.5. I say that, and then I'm going to go up here and be up there like 20 minutes. This rule does not apply to me because I'm at the front with the big motor. I'd rather winch here than have to drive back to town for parts.
Shots. Got me a little nervous there. I'm waiting till rocker knocker, and then I'm gonna take that from you.
Oh no, you gotta do the waterfall too. Oh, you gotta be quicker than that.
What's the water?
At the very end.
You said rocker knocker.
Well, rocker knocker is technically the end, but there's another one after that.
I'll do the waterfall though. I ain't scared. I ain't scared.
You and those stickies.
With the help from HP Tuner's Track Addict software, we were able to get even more information about the difficulty of some of these obstacles. Using their data logging software is like having a scientist on the trail with us, giving real-time information about the pitch and roll of our vehicles through some of Pritchett Canyon's most extreme terrain.
Pritchett Canyon 4x4, yellow dots, mile marker. We're here, smiley face. You know why they put the smiley face? Because right after that it says rated 9 out of 10 in difficulty equals you are effed. Thank you.
Hold on. There we go.
Most people so far have had to winch up. My winch stopped working. So I think I'm just gonna have to do it.
Do you want to try and drive it, or do you want to cable it?
I want to try and drive it once.
You want to try and drive it once? Not? Stay in it, stay in it, stay in it!
All I can say is, oh my God. I know Rodian's pants is gonna need the baby wipes in the side of my Jeep right now. That was wicked.
You know, I couldn't really see anything. I just saw just bright white light. And then I heard someone cheer and yell and clap, and that was about the time that I knew I wasn't dead.
Let it crawl, let it crawl. There you go. Who's next?
So we're here at Chewy Hill on Pritchett Canyon. It's the first real obstacle of Trail of SEMA this year that we've encountered. The group just finished getting through. It was a battle for some, me included, and other guys just drove right up it. It was an interesting experience for everybody, to say the least. Now, the group's all back together. We're about to saddle up and head on up the trail and try to make as much time as we can while we still have some sunlight. I have a feeling it's gonna be a late night. It's really fun.
That was crazy. I don't want to do that one again.
We were just hearing over the radio, hey, did you feel your driver's side rear tire lift off the ground? Sure enough, we start going down and we feel it. And I had to be almost in the driver's seat to keep the Jeep from tilting over.
Well, the spotter was able to grab the fender and pull it back down.
Yeah.
So that's how much we were speeding it. Yeah. And not to mention there's a cliff on that side. So it's all good. We made it this far.
This is part of being out here in Moab. So.
That's true. And Trail of SEMA, and thank you PowerStop for making me popular.
Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some.
To the knocker of the rockers. This is Rocker Knocker. We're about 3/4 of the way through. This trail gets its name because with a TJ and an LJ, you used to like head it straight and it would drag you to the left. You'd let your rock slider hit a rock and it would pivot you around the obstacle, hence the name Rocker Knocker. I've seen JKs sort of hit it at a super steep angle and make it up no problem. I've never made it up this hill with this truck, so I have no inclination that I'm gonna make it right now. But Matt from Bleepin' Jeep has to make it up. I don't think I can make it up.
It was like a good line, but he's on 40s and has a V8, so I don't know. We'll see what it feels like. Try to pick out a good line, see if we can climb up it. I don't want to bounce it too much, but I mean, we got some good parts under it, so it should stay together.
He's going full rock bouncer on us.
Matt is a rock bouncer. He'll beat on it until something breaks.
Sometimes you got to discover how far you can take it by breaking it.
He's got RCVs, strongest axles on the planet.
The first line I was trying to choose, I was trying to bump up this ledge, like the rock bouncer line. That wasn't working. I was trying to throw the front end up, so I had to curve over to the left a little bit, and then after that, just climbed right up.
Not bad.
This hill requires a lot of woo-pow, and the one thing I do not have is woo-pow. I didn't have enough woo-pow to get up there.
Right over to where you were before.
It's both at the same
Yeah, that's where you gotta roll it. That's what I have to do.
You want me to brake?
No, I want you to get up it. I don't want you to break it, but you gotta roll into it.
I didn't feel like I was going to go over, but I felt like there was potential to break a rear axle shaft. But there's a lot of weight on the back when you're uphill like that. All the weight transfers to that back axle shaft. I got lucky that I didn't break one, so $100 is coming to me.
Well, you know, I didn't pick a line. The line chose me. You just give it the throttle, it slides you into place and rotates you around that rock and you go up. I don't know. I didn't have much choice in that matter. But I'll tell you what, that boost sounds good.
I love this place.
While half of the group tackled the main obstacle, the rest of the convoy took the bypass around the side, fighting their way to the top. But the bypass turned out to be almost as difficult as the main line and took its toll on the group. Johnny's TJ broke a steering link, losing its battle against the Pritchett Canyon Trail.
Right.
All right. We need to get the next guy coming up. We're going to be here after we spend the night.
Yeah. So, here's what happened. This is supposed to be connected to this. And it broke. We're going to weld it together, get it welded, and hopefully we can get out of here before it's too dark. We'll see what happens. It's SEMA.
It will have to be repaired right here before the group can move on. Time to think fast and improvise.
We're going to try and weld it back together. He has a portable welder. Trying to figure out a way to sleeve it because I don't think our welder is going to make it strong enough to also get it out of here too, because we're not at the end yet.
As the repairs continued on Johnny's TJ, the sun kept getting lower in the sky. And then we noticed a huge rainstorm coming right for us from the west. With the end of Pritchett Canyon Trail less than a mile away, but some of the hardest obstacles still to come, it was all hands on deck to get Johnny's Jeep drivable again. Escaping Pritchett Canyon in the dark is difficult enough, but adding rain could spell disaster for some of the convoy, as the final obstacle, Yellow Hill, is a treacherously long, slick rock climb.
Next time on the PowerStop Trail. The team rushes to complete repairs on Johnny's steering link, but will it hold up in the rough terrain exiting Pritchett Canyon? A massive storm threatens the convoy and makes difficult obstacles worse as icy rain begins to pour down on the group as they tackle Yellow Hill. All of this and more on the next episode of the PowerStop Trail.